Hello everyone! Today we're diving into a fascinating topic that has intrigued leaders and scholars for centuries: Machiavellianism in leadership. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our thought-provoking content. Now, let's jump right in. In this section, we're going to explore the core principles that define Machiavellian leadership. These principles, rooted in Niccolò Machiavelli's seminal work, The Prince, provide insights into a leadership style characterized by cunning, pragmatism, and a focus on achieving and maintaining power at any cost. One of the fundamental tenets of Machiavellian leadership is the belief that the ends justify the means. In other words, a Machiavellian leader is willing to employ any tactic necessary to achieve their goals. This might involve manipulation, deception, or even actions that are morally questionable. The key here is a relentless pursuit of success, with little regard for the conventional constraints of morality. Machiavellian leaders prioritize realism over idealism. Unlike idealistic leaders who may adhere strictly to ethical principles, Machiavellians understand that the political landscape is complex and often requires a more practical, results-oriented approach. This involves a keen awareness of the current situation, a willingness to adapt strategies, and a focus on what will work in the real world, even if it deviates from idealistic principles. At the heart of Machiavellianism is an unwavering commitment to acquiring and maintaining power. Machiavelli argued that effective leaders must be strategic in their actions, always calculating the best moves to ensure their continued dominance. This might involve alliances, calculated betrayals, or the suppression of potential threats. The goal is not just to achieve power, but to retain it against potential challenges. To better understand these principles, let's look at a historical example and a fictional one. Caesar Borgia, a figure prominently featured in Machiavelli's The Prince, exemplified these principles. Borgia was a cunning and ambitious political figure during the Renaissance, known for his strategic alliances, calculated betrayals, and the ruthless pursuit of power. His actions became a case study for Machiavelli, illustrating the pragmatic approach necessary for successful leadership. In the fictional realm, Frank Underwood from House of Cards serves as a modern representation of Machiavellian leadership. Throughout the series, Underwood exhibits traits such as manipulation, strategic thinking, and a relentless pursuit of power. His actions may be morally ambiguous, but they highlight the effectiveness of Machiavellian strategies in achieving political goals. While these principles might seem effective in achieving specific objectives, they also raise ethical dilemmas. The relentless pursuit of power, the willingness to manipulate, and the prioritization of results over ethics can lead to a variety of consequences, both for the leader and the people they lead. It's essential to critically examine the ethical implications of Machiavellian leadership and consider its long-term effects on individuals and organizations. As we continue our exploration of Machiavellianism in leadership, we now arrive at a crucial juncture: the ethical dilemma associated with this particular leadership style. Machiavellian leaders, with their focus on power and pragmatism, often raise significant ethical questions that we need to grapple with. At the core of the ethical dilemma surrounding Machiavellian leadership is the moral trade-off. Machiavelli's philosophy suggests that achieving success may require compromising ethical principles. The question becomes, is it acceptable for leaders to prioritize their objectives over moral considerations? And if so, what are the potential consequences of such a trade-off? One of the primary concerns is the impact Machiavellian tactics can have on trust within an organization. When leaders prioritize their goals at the expense of ethical behavior, it can erode trust among team members. Trust is the foundation of effective leadership, and Machiavellianism, with its focus on manipulation and cunning, can undermine this crucial element. Another aspect of the ethical dilemma involves considering the long-term consequences of Machiavellian leadership. While it may lead to short-term success, the potential for negative repercussions, both for the leader and the organization, raises serious concerns. Questions arise about the sustainability of success built on Machiavellian principles and the potential for backlash or resistance from those affected. The challenge for leaders lies in striking a balance between achieving results and maintaining ethical integrity. Is it possible to be a successful leader without resorting to Machiavellian tactics? This is a question that leaders, scholars, and organizations grapple with in the contemporary landscape. To shed light on the ethical dilemma, let's look at a couple of case studies. Case study 1 Enron scandal. The Enron scandal is a real-world example that highlights the ethical pitfalls of Machiavellian leadership. The company's leadership engaged in deceptive accounting practices, manipulative tactics, and a disregard for ethical boundaries. The short-term gains were substantial, but the long-term consequences were disastrous, leading to legal consequences and the collapse of the company. Case study 2. Volkswagen emissions scandal. Similarly, the Volkswagen emissions scandal is another case where leaders prioritized achieving certain goals at the expense of ethical considerations. The use of deceptive practices to manipulate emissions testing resulted in severe consequences, including financial penalties and damage to the company's reputation. As we navigate the ethical dimensions of Machiavellian leadership, it's essential to recognize the complex interplay between achieving success and maintaining ethical integrity. The choices leaders make impact not only their immediate objectives, but also the long-term health and trust within an organization. Now, in this section, we'll explore how Machiavellianism manifests in contemporary leadership and examine both its applications and criticisms in today's dynamic landscape. 1. Adaptability in a changing world. One of the arguments in favor of Machiavellianism is its adaptability. In a rapidly changing world, leaders who can adjust their strategies based on practical considerations may find success. Machiavellian tactics, such as strategic alliances and calculated maneuvers, can be seen as tools for navigating complex and unpredictable situations. 2. Strategic thinking and decision-making. Machiavellian leaders are often praised for their strategic thinking and decisive decision-making. In situations where swift and calculated actions are necessary, a Machiavellian approach may be deemed effective in achieving results. However, it's crucial to address the criticisms and ethical concerns associated with modern applications of Machiavellian leadership. Machiavellian tactics, such as manipulation and deceit, can lead to the erosion of trust within an organization in an era where transparency and authenticity are valued. Leaders who employ Machiavellian strategies risk damaging relationships with their teams and stakeholders. While Machiavellian leaders may achieve short-term success, questions arise about the sustainability of their strategies. The emphasis on immediate gains, sometimes at the expense of ethical considerations, may result in long-term consequences that outweigh the benefits. Machiavellian leadership can also influence organizational culture. A culture built on manipulation and self-interest may hinder collaboration, innovation, and the development of a positive work environment. This, in turn, can affect the long-term health and productivity of an organization. Critics argue that Machiavellian leaders may face resistance and backlash from those who feel manipulated or deceived. In an interconnected world where information travels fast, the repercussions of Machiavellian actions can extend beyond the immediate context and harm a leader's reputation. Finding a balance between strategic pragmatism and ethical leadership is an ongoing challenge. Modern leaders must carefully consider the implications of their actions and decisions on the well-being of their teams and the organizations they lead. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Machiavellianism in contemporary leadership. Do you see it as a necessary adaptation to the complexities of our world, or do you believe it poses too great a risk to ethical standards? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our future content. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Machiavellian leadership. Until next time, stay informed and stay curious.